Having unveiled a string of savage spending cuts, George Osborne's spending review drew wide concern amongst the region's business leaders. With crushing blows to the public sector and transport, many businesses remain unconvinced that the region will recover from a painful recession. While at the IPN Connect exhibition at Newcastle Racecourse, bdaily took the opportunity to speak with some of the attendees to hear their thoughts and reactions.
We all expected cuts, and I think we've got to, everybody's got to say yes. Let's sort of let's all take a step back. Let's accept that there has to be cuts across the board. However, it's how these cuts are implemented. I mean, the public sector, through the Gershwin savings, have had to save 3% every year for the last several years. So they're already on a reduced budget year by year. To take another 4%, but over 4 years, that'll be 16%. The first year, I think the police and the public sector will be able to absorb that, because they have actually, in some respects, expected this to come. There is the people that retire, the ill health that you can actually deal with. But after year one, the difficulty sets in. By year two and going into year three, you've cut the fat. You're now into the lean.
From a regional point of view, I think the A1 is very disappointing, because there's been a great programme to bring pressure to bear on successive governments so far as the A1 is concerned. We need that link. This is an exporting region. It's the only net exporter of goods and services in the UK, and yet they're not giving us the links. We've missed out on the A1. We've also missed out on the extensions of the rail franchises up and down the country. And we'll find that Leeds will have a superb railway system, the North West will have a superb railway system, and we are left with what the Victorians gave us. So the government aren't listening in some respects. So regionally, I think there are one or two problems which still need addressing.
What we've got to remember is the public sector, if we look at health, look at education, look at councils, they actually employ a lot of localised people. They also offer the opportunity for development. So they take on a lot of people coming from the schools, and they actually process them through and develop them to a point that they can come out into industry and such like, where they get better jobs in some respects, start-up jobs really. And if we cut them back, which is what's going to happen, it's going to be a nice-to-have necessity issue. If it's a necessity, we keep it. If it's a nice-to-have, sorry, it's going to have to go. Then my sort of point to the government is, taking it that you're cutting the community side by 7.4%, where do you expect these people to go, combined with the people that are coming off benefits? Because it's all right saying people are coming off benefits, but it's actually having somewhere to send them. It's having something for them to do where they feel valued, where they feel encouraged to actually develop themselves.
In the past, in my experience as an HR professional, I've always found that HR budgets, in particular training and development and education, are cut. And I would recommend to businesses that to see themselves through these difficult times, they don't ignore education. If people are educated and are able to do things in the best manner that's possible, then the businesses are going to be more successful. So please don't lose out on education.
We've increased the throughput to universities. They're talking about top-loading students so they've got more debt. They're talking about paying for it later on in their lives. So they're loading that debt later on when they should be looking at getting mortgages, when they should be looking at their investments. They're still paying back debt. Okay, they're earning wages, but not all of them. What about if we said to universities, okay, if you're running a degree that's required and needed, then people coming out of the universities within 3 years should actually be able to get employed. If they don't, you pay the debt. The universities would certainly concentrate on what degrees they were offering.
I think in all of this, though, and the public sector cuts are probably at the front, is the ability to deliver. And what we haven't yet seen is that the government can actually deliver. And where the cuts going to be? Are they at the sharp end, or are they in the middle where they're excess staff, or we assume they're excess staff, if we believe what we're told? Is that where it will come? It's the services to the public that need protecting. If those go, then we need to be careful that we don't end up like the French and we've got problems on the streets.
The talk about the 5-year plan in reduction, well, I'd like to see the 10-year plan in development. So, okay, let's have our austerity now, and we accept that, but also show me where we're going to be in 10 years' time.